All right, here's your favorite daycare lady. I'm coming back with another story. Yesterday, I had an incident yesterday where I'm always telling stories about things that's happened in my life. Yesterday, I had an incident where my grandson, he was at school and we got called from the daycare to come to the school to pick him up because he had been bullied and the bully had pushed him and he had busted his head. And he was going to have stitches. And so they was telling us to come and get him. So we went and got him and took him to La Bonheur, and he had to have about 10 stitches. And so instantly I'm sitting there and I'm mad. I started feeling like I'm really, really mad, like abnormally mad. And so I'm really, really, even though he had to have stitches, it wasn't that bad. So I was trying to figure out, like, why are you so mad? I'm like really, really mad, angry. And I started sitting there thinking, I never dealt with when I got bullied as a child in school. I thought that I had suppressed it. But then when that happened to my grandson, it brought it all back to my remembrance of how I was bullied in school and how, people were bullying me because I was a church girl and I went to church. My mom was a preacher. And I started getting angry all over again because I was bullied. And then I thought about my son when he was in school, that he got bullied. And we had to go to the school because his mouth got busted. And I remember being so angry when I went to the school years ago for my son. And they had to call the police because I was so angry about my son being bullied that I didn't want him to go through what I went through. And so when my grandson experienced it 10, 15 years later, I was really, really angry. So what I did was I started rehashing everything, and then I started praying, and I asked God to take that bitterness from me because I realized at that moment I was still bitter 25, 30 years against the person that bullied me. And so I began to pray and ask God to take that bitterness out of my heart and my spirit. But I always go to the Bible, and I always try to find something in the Bible to talk about the stories that I bring you or my life situations that I bring you. And so I went to the Bible and I found David and I found Goliath. David was a little shepherd boy. Goliath, he was a fighter. The Bible said that he was either 6'9" or 9 feet tall. Nobody really know exactly, but that's what the Bible was saying. But the Bible said that that Goliath was a bully, and Goliath was bullying everybody, telling everybody he could whoop them. Everybody scared, everybody running. It didn't matter how much money the king put up or what he put up, nobody would fight him. So the Bible said that there was an old little rugged boy, David. So David took the challenge. And Goliath, he was full. Goliath had on his armor, his sword, and everything. And David, just a little shepherd boy. He had a shepherd bag, he had a stick, and he had a slingshot. And so the Bible says that he took the slingshot, he took the rocks or the stones, and the Bible said that as he was coming up to him, as Goliath was coming up to him, the Bible said that Goliath started laughing like, you come to me with a stick like I'm a dog, ha ha ha, because he just looked at him and knew that he was going to toss David around. But David was so focused on not worrying about his size, but David was more focused on who did he serve, and he knew the power that God was able to give him. And so the Bible says that David, he began to take the slingshot out and the stone and put it in the slingshot and aim for Goliath's head. And so the Bible says that instantly Goliath fell down with the stone in his head, and the giant did fall. So what is this daycare lady trying to tell you? Giants, they do fall. It doesn't matter how big it look like your giant is. It doesn't matter if somebody look like that they've been bullying you for years. It doesn't matter if it's somebody that just love to get on your nerves. It doesn't matter what the situation is in your life that you may call your giant. But I'm telling you, giants do fall. When I begin to ask God to take away that past hurt and them past wounds, Instantly, I asked God to take it, and I really wanted him to take it. And I feel like God did that for me. But I'm telling you, don't worry about what people do. Don't worry about how people try to intimidate you or how they try to throw stones. Because one thing about it, God is going to fight your battles. It's okay. It's okay. Let them throw stones. Let them throw rocks. Let them hate on you. Let them gang up on you. Whatever they feel like they got to do. But one thing I can say, that the giant did tumble and fall. Let God fight your battles. God said, I'm more for you than the world against you. So you may be going through, yeah, it's a giant, yeah, it look big, but guess what? it's going to fall.